Why Yisro? What's the chus that Yisro have to be eponymous with our Parsha? Parsha, the Torah names for him. What's so special? What's so unique about Yisro? Yes, he revamped our judicial system. He's Moshe's father-in-law. But what makes him so unique, so special? Well, what's the first thing that we're told about Yisro? Vayishma Yisro, that Yisro heard. Mashmu Hashama, what did he hear? Rashi, based on Chazal, asked, he heard about Kriyas Yamsuf and Melchemes Hamelech, the miracles that had happened to the Jewish people. And then he became he joined. He heard about the events of Matan Torah. If you assume that Matan Torah had already taken place. But still, what's different? Everybody, these were world-renowned events. What's different about Yisro? And it's clear that the focus is not the Mashmu Hashama, but it's the Mashmu Hashama Uva. What moved Yisro? Everybody saw what was going on. The difference of Yisro, and that's why it doesn't say Vayavo Yisro. He didn't just come and say Vayishma and then Ba. He heard, he listened, and then he came. But the focus seems to be on the Vayishma, and that needs to be understood. Viktor Frankl, the great psychologist, after the Holocaust, he had survived in the camps, developed a new theory of psychology, logotherapy, based on this man's search for meaning. And he once told the story of a woman who phoned him up in the middle of the night and calmly told him that she was about to take her own life. And Frankl kept her on the phone and talked to her and listened to her through her depression, giving her reason, every reason he could think of to carry on living. And eventually she promised she wouldn't do it. And she kept her word. And when they met later to follow up, Frankl said, what was it that he said that impacted her the most, that he should know for the next time if he needed again? What was so convincing? And she said, none of it. So what persuaded her to go on living? Her answer was simple, that Frankl was willing to give of his time in the middle of the night. A world in which someone is prepared to listen to somebody else, to another person who's distressed. That's a world worth living in. And that art of listening is something that is so lost in our world. When we communicate electronically, we lose that connection. We can tweak the conversation to the points that we want, to the substance of it, but not connect to the person. And it's an important avoda for every person to work on the ability to listen to other people. Because sometimes we listen just to figure out when is the next time that we can speak. We cut people off. We don't even give them that time. Vayishma Yisro. Yisro heard. Think about it. Take a moment. How many people in your life really listen to you? You know, you can just talk to, and they will just sit and they will listen and give you that attention that we need. That connection which is so strong, so human, and so powerful. That's what Yisro was able to do. Sometimes the greatest gift that we can give somebody is to focus on them, to give them attention. It means genuinely open to one another, opening ourselves to another person, preparing to enter into their world, not just into our own, to hear their perspective and to hear their pain. And when we listen, somehow we remove a little bit of the burden that somebody else is carrying. And that's really what the life of a Jew is about. Shema Yisrael. We make ourselves subservient to God by listening to HaKadosh Baruch Hu's commandments. We have that relationship in the divine, and Hashem wants us to have it with other people as well. Yisrael was different because it wasn't just background noise. Yes, this wasn't a Bein Adam L'Chavero listening, but it was a trait that he personified and that he brings to the Jewish people, and that is there to inspire us as well. When you have somebody who can listen and connect to something, and therefore, Uba, he did something about it, that's the kind of person who has the ability to listen to others as well. And maybe that's why he was the one who merited changing the court system as well. It's very strange that the Torah records a whole conversation between Yisro and Moshe, back and forth. Just get to the point. What do you want to do? It's too hard for Moshe. Try this, try that. You know what? Some people may have seen the problem and just said, here's the solution. But Yisro had a conversation. Yisro was willing to hear it out. What's the problem? Why do you do it this way? Is there anything that we can do to make your life a little bit easier? And once he understood the perspective of Moshe, That's when he was able to do it. That's the lesson of Yisro. To try to spend a little bit more time listening to other people. To not be distracted by other things when people are talking to us. And to deeply connect. Allow other people into our world and allow us ourselves to be willing to enter into somebody else's world. And if we do that, then Vayishma Uba, then it will move, it will affect, it will impact our own lives and the lives of others around us.